Alright guys, it's October 29th. I'm not going to be hunting today more than likely, but drove up to the Northwoods to do a camera chip pull on all the cams up here. Hopefully we got some good stuff on there, but at cam 1 right now, there's some deer tracks on the road that cut in right past it, so hopefully it's got some good pics, but we'll see when we get in there. So here's these tracks. They go right in, camera's right there, so hopefully they went past it. Pulled that first card. It's only 37 pictures in a month on there through my card reader. The card reader keeps turning off even though the batteries are full. So glad I brought the laptop. So I'm gonna throw it on the laptop and see what's on there. Before it did die, it looked like there was some does and black bear on there. So we'll see. Well, we're not off to a good start here. Chip reader, card reader, doesn't work. I don't know what's wrong with it. It has battery juice. Laptop, it's already a piece of junk to begin with. I do need a new one, but it won't even load up to even see pictures right now. So I'm walking down the street to get a different card. Hopefully by the time I come back to the truck, it has a damn picture opened up, so I can at least clear the previous card and keep moving on today. Otherwise, I literally won't know what's on any of these cameras until I get all the way back home, which is 4 hours from here. So, about a day so far. So I really like this spot, even though there's no trees to put a tree stand in. These deer are coming through this and crossing the road pretty heavy, but you can see on those pine trees and all the other little ones that they're browsing them off up to about chest height on me. So that's pretty common in here with all the little pines. So hopefully there's some deer on this camera in here. On the way in, the check cam 3. I'm gonna make a little loop in here too to try and look for some scrapes on the logging road, and then there was a real heavy trail through some pines last year. Checked the first 2 cards. This computer's finally working. Card number 1, definitely a bear on there. Only one time. Otherwise, does spike. There's 1 or 2 nice bucks that are on there for up north, so they do exist. Just only once in the daylight. The rest is at night. Pulled cam 2 card. A lot of pictures, but it's set on 3-round burst. It's basically just a couple does that are triggering it a bunch of times. Got some bird hunters on there with their dogs. No bucks. So that's disappointing on that one, but we'll see what this third one has. Well, I know it's nothing special, but the first rub that I've seen in all the miles I've walked up north so far from this year. So that's good. I'm about 30 yards from that rub. So we got a scrape. So I like that. This area had a lot of buck activity last year, but was showing nothing when I was here a month ago to put cams out. Just came across another scrape about 100 yards from the last. Another scrape. Another little rub. So there was a real good trail through here last year. I'm going to loop through there on my way back to the truck, but I might go back and get a cell cam because I think there's another scrape there and try and monitor this a little more real time. So that's a pretty good rub for up north. Looks like the main trail is coming out of the swamp. I don't know, I'm really liking seeing this. This is one thing that we missed last year, and by the time we found it, it was too late. Walking back in to get the chip from camera 4. Camera 3, I pulled that card. I actually moved the camera a little bit closer to a scrape, but not on it, directly facing it. It's more of like an intersection. Got back to the truck, looked at it. Got 1 or 2 bears on there. Got a really nice buck for up north. And then, unfortunately, 2 or 3 wolves about 2 weeks ago. So, not what I wanted to see. But as long as that's the only appearance, I don't really care, I guess. See what happens. They're not as prevalent as last year. So hopefully this is a good pull on this one. This card comes out of a swamp. There was an old scrape in front of it. So let's hope we hit the jackpot on this camera. Got these 2 scrapes now. That one was the old one that was here. And camera back here. It's tipped sideways a little bit, but hopefully the batteries didn't die. Well, it ended in more disappointment. Damn camera. Has batteries, but didn't take any pictures. But I guess that's what you get when you got the Chinese cam. Finally gave up the ghost. It had a good run. Got it replaced now. Alright, at the next location. Walking in to get cams 5 and 6. One of them I think I'm going to take down because it's not doing anything. No point in having the cell cam out here if it's not hitting off that old scrape. That junk camera, I took the card back to the truck. It took 2 pictures and then stopped working. Oh, there's a scrape. Nice. So, I don't know what the hell the deal is with that thing, but that's a disappointment. That was a pretty good location from the looks of it. I did jump a doe as I turned around to go back up the hill. So, we'll see what happens. That camera's on video and picture mode now. So, it'd be cool to see him working that scrape. Well, I don't get it. The scrape's been opened up. Camera's back there, so it's... I don't know what the hell. See what the card says. Neither one of these cameras really have like a ton on them, but some decent bucks. Everything's in the dark. Very few pictures though. There's a giant black bear on this one. I took them both down. I'm gonna see if I can find something better back down behind me where I had a tree stand last gun season, and put one back out hopefully, and then I gotta keep moving on. Pretty decent rub here. Another little one just behind those 3 trees. I just gotta cross this swamp. I'm gonna circle in here real quick and just do a little mini check back in there, and then get out of here. So I came back and put my old camera back over the scrape where I had the cell cam. It's based on the photos. The deer are coming through here, hitting the scrape, and they must be going off that way. So I'm trying to hit this whole area here with photo and video. So hopefully it works out. We'll see. Maybe about a week I'll come back. So I got back in there, found a giant scrape with a real good trail. No rubs or anything around it, but they seem to be coming from the swamp side through the popples that they logged a couple years back to an area where my mom used to have a ground blind 20 some odd years ago plus. So they're still using that area. So I put a cell cam out up there. Now I'm gonna go to one more point of interest that I had yet to do today. See if there's some scrapes on this little sliver in between 2 loggings. And then I'm gonna go to one more point of interest that I had yet to do today. See if there's some scrapes on this little sliver in between 2 loggings. And then I'm gonna go to one more point of interest that I had yet to do today. See if there's some scrapes on this little sliver in between 2 loggings. And then I'm gonna go to one more point of interest that I had yet to do today. See if there's some scrapes on this little sliver in between 2 loggings. And then I'm gonna go to one more point of interest that I had yet to do today. See if there's some scrapes on this little sliver in between 2 loggings. And then I'm gonna go to one more point of interest that I had yet to do today. See if there's some scrapes on this little sliver in between 2 loggings. And then I'm gonna go to one more point of interest that I had yet to do today. See if there's some scrapes on this little sliver in between 2 loggings. And then I'm gonna go to one more point of interest that I had yet to do today. See if there's some scrapes on this little sliver in between 2 that they logged probably, I don't know, 5-10 years ago. Then we're just gonna drive around and look for tracks and sign, and I only got a couple more cams left, but we'll put them wherever I gotta put them. Out at a spot of interest that I had last year, a rub right there. There's another little one right in front center of the screen there. So I'm trying to get where this big oak tree is. Then beyond that, there's a little sliver that there was a bunch of scrapes on last year. Couple deer. They're in where they're logging right now. At least we can say we've seen 2. Actually 3 in the woods today, but so this is one of my last stops today probably. I put a camera from a different direction way down this road. But since this morning, somebody cut the tree branch that was kind of blocking this thing and literally drove all the way back in here. So I'm gonna see how far they went. Otherwise, it's all for nothing. If they're just gonna be driving in and out. Well, it's pretty disappointing. They literally cut every single tree that was in the way down, all the way back there. Right through all the deer scrapes, everything. Makes absolutely no logical sense from a deer hunting standpoint to want to drive your car right to the deer. Sometimes you just can't be lazy, and you have to use those 2 things called legs, just like everybody else. Well, hopefully the only good daylight buck I have doesn't get spooked out of here from these retards. Well, I checked out one more spot, but that's a wrap on this trip. Hopefully them cameras fire up with some bucks on them, and then we can make a move, try and get one before gun season. I'd rather shoot an up north buck over one down by my house, but we'll see what happens when I get my vacation.